What if I told you that ignoring 10 simple Amish planting rules causes 90% of garden failures? That modern gardeners follow calendar dates, while traditional wisdom follows natural indicators proving far more accurate? These ignored rules, refined over 300 years, prevent crop failure, disease, and wasted effort. Today I'm going to show you exactly what they are. Never plant in cold soil. Planting in cold soil kills seeds through rot and fungal disease regardless of calendar date saying it's safe. Soil temperature determines germination success more than any other single factor, including air temperature or frost date. Seeds planted in 50-degree soil when they need 60 degrees simply rot in the ground, wasting money and time. Amish farmers test soil temperature daily in spring, waiting for proper warmth before planting anything. Traditional wisdom states warm soil grows plants, cold soil grows mold, based on centuries of observation. This single rule prevents more failures than all others combined through patient timing. Plant by the moon. Phases. Moon phase planting follows gravitational pull affecting soil moisture and plant growth in measurable ways beyond superstition. Plant above ground crops during waxing moon when gravitational pull draws moisture upward in soil. Plant root crops during waning moon when pull decreases, allowing moisture to settle deeper. New moon to full moon suits leafy greens, tomatoes, peppers, and beans perfectly. Full moon to new moon benefits carrots, potatoes, onions, and beets significantly. Scientific studies confirm 20 to 30% germination improvement following moon phases. Traditional Amish practice plans entire planting calendar around lunar cycles for maximum success rates proven over generations. Always plant in rows. North-south rows ensure both sides of plants receive equal sunlight throughout day, preventing lopsided growth and shading. East-west rows create southern side getting excessive sun, while northern side remains shaded, reducing yield significantly. Morning sun hits eastern side of north-south rows, while afternoon sun hits western side, distributing light evenly. Tall plants in north-south rows don't shade shorter plants as severely as east-west orientation. Amish gardens universally follow this orientation regardless of garden shape or size. Yield improvements of 15 to 25% occur simply from proper row orientation, allowing maximum photosynthesis on all plant sides throughout entire growing season. Space wider than seed packets. Seed packet spacing recommendations maximize seed sales, not plant health or yields requiring wider spacing. Commercial spacing creates overcrowding leading to disease, poor air circulation, and reduced yields from competition. Amish practice spaces 50% wider than package directions, allowing proper airflow and full-size development. Tomatoes planted 36 to 48 inches apart instead of 24 inches produce 40% more fruit per plant. Proper spacing reduces fungal disease by 60% through better air circulation. Initial appearance seems wasteful, but mature plants fill space completely while staying healthier and producing far more total yield per square foot than crowded plantings. Plant tall crops on the north side. Tall crops including corn, sunflowers, and pole beans belong exclusively on the north side of the garden, preventing shade on shorter crops. Southern placement of tall plants shades the entire garden, reducing yields 40 to 60% on everything behind them. Northern placement allows full southern sun exposure on all other crops throughout the growing season. Amish gardens show corn and sunflowers always occupying northernmost beds or rows without exception. East and west sides tolerate medium-height plants like tomatoes and peppers on stakes. Center and south sections reserve for low-growing crops including lettuce, carrots, beets, and bush beans, receiving maximum sunlight exposure daily without tall plant interference. The soil temperature. Soil temperature matters more than air temperature, frost dates, or calendar timing, because seeds and roots live in soil, not air. Warm air with cold soil creates rotting seeds, while cool air with warm soil produces strong germination. Most garden failures trace directly to planting in soil too cold for specific crop requirements. Specific crop temperature requirements vary dramatically by species. Peas, lettuce, and spinach germinate in 40-degree soil and prefer cool conditions. Beans need a minimum of 60 degrees, or seeds will rot completely. Corn requires 60 to 65 degrees with 70 ideal. Tomatoes, peppers, and eggplants demand 65 to 70 degrees minimum. Cucumbers, squash, and melons need 70-degree soil, refusing to germinate below 65. Watermelons require 75 to 80 degrees. Yeah, measure accurately with a soil thermometer inserted 2 to 4 inches deep each morning. Take readings for 3 consecutive days. The average must consistently meet crop minimums. One warm day is not enough, as soil heats and cools slowly. Digital instant red thermometers cost $10 to $15. Cold soil consequences are severe. Seeds rot in 60 to 80% of cases when planted 10 degrees below optimum. Fungal diseases attack seeds in cold, wet conditions. Delayed germination reduces the growing season, and weak seedlings produce 30 to 50% less yield. Warm soil benefits include germination in 3 to 7 days versus 2 to 3 weeks, stronger seedlings, better disease resistance, and maximized yields. Regional timing variations mean calendar dates are useless. Southern gardeners plant tomatoes March to April, while northern gardeners wait until late May or June. Clay soil heats 1 to 2 weeks slower than sandy soil. Soil warming techniques include black plastic mulch, raising temperature 5 to 10 degrees, raised beds warming 1 to 2 weeks faster, and removing mulch 2 weeks before planting. Traditional Amish observation: if soil feels cold to a bare hand at 4-inch depth, it's too cold for warm season crops. Natural indicators like blooming trees and emerging perennials signal soil readiness reliably. The companion planting. The rule of 3 requires a minimum of 3 different plant species per bed, creating diversity that prevents pest and disease problems. Single crop beds invite specialist pests while mixed beds confuse and deter them. Research confirms 40 to 60% pest reduction in 3 species combinations versus monoculture. Proven Amish combinations include the 3 sisters: corn, beans, and squash. Where corn supports beans, beans fix nitrogen, and squash shades soil. Tomatoes, basil, and marigolds pair the main crop with pest-repelling companions. Carrots, onions, and lettuce confuse each other's pests while filling space efficiently. Height layering creates 3 vertical zones: tall, corn, steak tomatoes at 6 to 8 feet, middle, bush beans, peppers at 2 to 4 feet, and low, lettuce, carrots under 12 inches. Root depth diversity prevents competition. Shallow lettuce roots work the top 6 to 12 inches, beans and tomatoes reach 18 to 36 inches, and carrots penetrate 36 to 48 inches. Nutrient sharing happens naturally. Legumes fix nitrogen benefiting heavy feeders nearby, and dynamic accumulators like comfrey mine deep minerals for shallow-rooted plants. Pest confusion multiplies through scent masking, visual disruption, trap cropping, and improved air circulation reducing disease. Plant everything twice. Planting every major crop 2 or 3 times spaced 2 to 3 weeks apart provides insurance against failure and extends harvest dramatically. Single plantings risk total loss from one weather event, pest outbreak, or disease. Succession planting guarantees at least one successful harvest. The 2-week rule staggers maturity so early plantings produce before pest pressure peaks, while later plantings avoid early season issues. 3 successive bean plantings harvest continuously for 8 to 10 weeks versus 2 to 3 weeks from a single planting. Lettuce succession provides fresh green spring through fall instead of one harvest. Timing calculations start with maturity days from the seed packet, adding 2 weeks between plantings. Count backwards from first frost minus maturity days for the last safe planting date. Space management plants sections of a bed successively rather than the entire bed at once. The depth rule? Traditional depth measurement uses a simple guideline of planting seeds at depth equal to 3 times the seed's width, creating ideal germination conditions. Too shallow allows drying out before germination completes. Too deep prevents tiny seedlings from reaching the surface before energy reserves exhaust. 3 times width balances moisture retention with emergent success across all seed sizes. Why 3 times seed width works relates to moisture, oxygen, and energy reserves. Seeds need contact with moist soil for water absorption, triggering germination. Deeper planting maintains consistent moisture better than the surface. Oxygen reaches seeds at shallow depths, but reduces deeper, limiting too deep planting. Small seeds have small energy reserves traveling only short distances to the surface. Large seeds store more energy, allowing deeper planting without issue. The 3 times width ratio automatically scales appropriately to seed size. Common depth mistakes killing seeds include planting too deep being the most frequent error. Lettuce and carrot seeds planted half-inch deep never emerge using all energy before reaching light. Tiny seeds barely covered with fine soil instead of being buried. Planting too shallowly causes drying out in dry conditions or heavy rain washing seeds away. Inconsistent depth in the same row creates uneven germination, making management difficult. Not firming soil over seeds leaves air pockets, preventing moisture contact. Soil type adjustments modify the 3 times rule for conditions. Sandy soil dries quickly, requiring slightly deeper planting than clay for moisture retention. Clay soil stays wet, allowing slightly shallower planting, preventing rot. Heavy soil requires shallower planting because seedlings struggle pushing through dense mediums. Light, fluffy soil allows deeper planting with easy seedling emergence. Wet spring conditions plant shallower, avoiding rot, while dry conditions plant deeper for moisture access. Large seed versus small seed shows dramatic size differences. Large bean seeds measure half-inch wide, planting 1.5 inches deep easily. Corn seeds measure quarter-inch wide, planting 3/4 inch deep. Medium tomato seeds show tiny 1/16 inch width, planting just 3/16 inch or barely covered. Lettuce seeds are microscopic, requiring surface sowing with light press only. Carrot seeds tiny, plant 1/8 inch deep, maximum with light soil covering. Moisture and depth relationship shows shallow seeds require frequent light watering, maintaining surface moisture. Deep planted large seeds need less frequent but deeper watering, reaching seed depth. Overhead watering crusts soil surface, preventing emergence, requiring gentle spray or bottom watering. Consistent soil moisture proves more important than depth, preventing alternating wet-dry stress. Covering technique matters as much as depth for germination success. Fine seeds press into firm seedbed without covering or dust lightly with fine soil. Medium seeds cover with loose fine soil, then firm gently. Large seeds plant in furrow, cover with soil, then firm, well ensuring contact. Firming eliminates air pockets, allowing moisture transfer through capillary action. Watering after planting settles soil around seeds, improving contact without compacting. Germination success rates show 80 to 95% germination with proper depth versus 20 to 40% with improper depth. 3 times width rule eliminates guesswork, providing reliable results across all seed types. Traditional wisdom creates simple, memorable guideline requiring no tools or measurement devices for field use. Never plant the same family. The 3 to 7 year rotation rule prevents planting any crop from the same botanical family in the same location for a minimum of 3 years, ideally 7 years. Same family crops share pests and diseases that build up in soil with continuous planting. Rotation breaks pest and disease cycles while balancing nutrient use, preventing soil depletion from the same demands yearly. Plant family classifications group crops by botanical relationships sharing similar pests, diseases, and nutrient needs. The nightshade family includes tomatoes, peppers, eggplants, and potatoes. The cucurbit family contains cucumbers, squash, melons, and pumpkins. Brassica family groups cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, kale, and radishes. The legume family includes beans, peas, and cover crop clovers. The allium family contains onions, garlic, leeks, and shallots. The carrot family includes carrots, parsnips, celery, and parsley. Disease and pest buildup prevention shows soil-borne diseases persisting 3 to 7 years without host plants. Verticillium wilt affects nightshades building up with continuous tomato planting in the same spot. Fusarium wilt attacks cucurbits accumulating in soil from repeated squash planting. Clubroot devastates brassicas persisting 7+ years in contaminated soil. Pest larvae, including root maggots, overwinter in soil, emerging to attack same family crops. Rotation starves. Pests and diseases by removing host plants breaking reproductive cycles. Nutrient depletion by family shows heavy feeders like corn and tomatoes exhausting nitrogen. Light feeders, including root crops, use minimal nitrogen, allowing soil recovery. Legumes actually add nitrogen through root nodules, fixing atmospheric nitrogen. Planting heavy feeders, then light feeders, then legumes creates balanced rotation. Same family continuous planting depletes specific nutrients that family prefers, causing deficiency. Mapping rotation schedule uses a simple 4-bed or 4-section system. Bed 1 year 1 plants tomatoes, nightshades. Year 2 cabbage, brassicas. Year 3 beans, legumes. Year 4 carrots, umbellifers, then repeats. Bed 2 starts with cabbage, creating 4-year rotation automatically. Written map showing what grew where each year prevents accidental same family planting. Photos of garden sections by year document plantings for reference. Small garden rotation strategies use containers for mobility, allowing physical relocation yearly. Vertical growing on different supports each year in different locations. Intensive interplanting mixes families within beds, making rotation complex but more pest resistant. New soil additions to beds dilute pest and disease concentrations somewhat. Solarization treats soil between susceptible crops, reducing pathogen loads. Container growing advantage allows completely fresh soil annually, eliminating rotation concerns. Physical movement of containers to different locations varies sun exposure and conditions. Dumping and replacing potting soil removes all soil-borne issues between seasons. Small space gardeners benefit greatly from container rotation flexibility. Record-keeping essentials include simple notebook mapping, garden sections and what grew where. Photos by bed or section each season document plantings accurately. Digital tools, including garden planning apps, track rotations automatically. Multi-year planning prevents accidental same-family planting through scheduled crop placement. Traditional Amish practice uses written records and family Bibles passed through generations, showing decade-long rotation success. These 10 Amish planting rules prevent common failures plaguing modern gardens, following calendar dates and seed packet instructions. Traditional wisdom backed by science demonstrates soil temperature mattering most, yet remaining most ignored by gardeners rushing to plant. Succession planting doubles reliability, providing insurance against crop failure from weather or pests. Rotation prevents disease cycles building up in soil, causing mysterious failures year after year. Natural phenological indicators prove more accurate than calendar dates, adjusting automatically to each unique season. Small adjustments in spacing, depth, and timing create massive improvements in germination and growth rates. Start implementing one rule at a time, observing results before adding more. Soil temperature measurement alone prevents 60 to 70% of early season failures immediately. 3 species minimum per bed reduces pest pressure 40 to 60% without intervention. Afternoon transplanting improves establishment success 15 to 25% simply through better timing. Amish methods proven over 300 years offer reliability modern shortcuts cannot match. Begin today choosing easiest rules first, then expanding to complete system.